Hello and welcome back to another Osoroshii Saturday where we take a look at some of the deepest and darkest secrets of all Asian lore and beyond. Within this episode, we're going to dive deep into a very mysterious case first, known as the Monster with 21 Faces. The case of the monster with 21 faces. The monster with 21 faces, also known in Japanese as the Kaijin ni Juichi Menso, a name originally given to a villain in Edogawa Rampo's detective novels, used as an alias by the person or group responsible for the blackmail letters in the Glico Morinaga case in Japan, another name that this whole case has been seen under. Variations of the name's translation, including the Mystery Man with 21 Faces and the Phantom with 21 Faces, also exist. Let's begin first with the letters involved. Letters to Ezaki Glico. If you don't know Glico is pretty much Japan's version of Hershey chocolates, one of the biggest snack makers. You may know them for Pocky, a sort of confectionery with a stick with chocolate at the end. The monster with 21 faces first sent a letter on May 10th, 1984, to the giant food company Ezaki Glico, following the kidnapping and escape of Katsuhisa Ezaki, the president of Glico. The letter stated it had laced the company's confectionaries with potassium cyanide soda, and it later threatened to put them on store shelves. None of these poison candies were ever found, but Glico products were removed from stores, resulting in a loss of more than 21 million and the laying off of over 450 part-time workers. The whole case began with a kidnapping. At 9 p.m. on the 18th of March, 1984, two masked men wearing caps and armed with a pistol and a rifle broke into the home of Katsuhisa Ezaki, the president of Glico. Prior to entering Ezaki's house, the two men had forced their way into the neighboring home of Ezaki's mother, bound her, and took the key to the president's house. Using the key to enter the main house, they then tied up Ezaki's wife and daughter. Believing the two men were ordinary robbers, Ezaki's wife attempted to negotiate with them for their freedom in exchange for money, but was rejected. The two men then cut the telephone lines and stormed the bathroom where Ezaki and his two other children were hiding. Ezaki panicked and cried for help, but was threatened that he would be killed unless he calmed down. The two men abducted Ezaki and held him captive in a warehouse. The next morning, they called the director of the company in Takatsuki village and issued a ransom demand for 1 billion yen, at that time approximately 4.2 million US dollars, and 100 kilograms in gold bullion. However, 3 days later, on the 21st of March, Ezaki managed to escape from the warehouse in Ibaraki City, Osaka Prefecture. Glico blackmailing. The extortion attempts against Glico did not end with the escape of Ezaki. On April 10th, vehicles in the parking lot of Ezaki Glico headquarters trial production building were set on fire. Then, on April 16th, a plastic container containing hydrochloric acid and a threatening letter to Glico were found in Ibaraki. On May 10th, Glico began to receive letters from a person or group calling themselves the Monster with 21 Faces, also known as the Mystery Man with 21 Faces. The monster claimed to have laced Glico's candies with potassium cyanide soda when Glico pulled its products off the shelves at great expense, resulting in a loss larger than they had ever felt before. The monster with 21 faces threatened to place tampered products in more and more stores. Following these threats, a man wearing a Yomiuri Giants baseball cap was caught placing Glico chocolate on a store shelf by a security camera. A security camera photo was made public after this incident. This man was since known as the videotaped man. Meanwhile, the monster with 21 faces sent letters to the media taunting police officers to capture the culprits behind the scare. An excerpt from one such letter read, in hiragana with an Osaka dialect, "Dear dumb police officers, don't tell a lie. All crimes begin with a lie, as we say in Japan. Don't you know that?" The written challenge was also sent to Koshien Police Station. It said, "Why don't you keep it to yourself? You seem to be at a loss, so why not let us help you? We'll give you a clue. We entered the factory by the front gate. The typewriter we used is a pan writer. The plastic container used was a piece of street garbage." Signed, the monster with 21 faces. Eventually, the monster stopped contacting Glico, and on June 26, it issued a letter saying, "We forgive Glico." However, the monster then turned its extortion campaign on Morinaga and the food companies Marudai Ham and House Foods Corporation. The closest the police ever got to the perpetrator of these crimes was a man known simply as the Fox-Eyed Man. Police did get close to the suspect mastermind of the monster with 21 faces. However, on June 28th, 2 days after agreeing to stop harassing Marudai in exchange for 50 million yen, which was at the time about $210,000, the monster, quote-unquote, arranged for a Marudai employee to toss the ransom money onto a local train heading toward Kyoto when a white flag was displayed. An investigator disguised as a Marudai employee and following the drop instructions of the monster spotted a suspicious man, observing him when he was riding a train to the drop point. The man was described as a large, well-built man wearing sunglasses, his hair cut and permed, his eyes like those of a fox. When the white flag was not displayed, the undercover policeman and the fox-eyed man both disembarked from the train at Kyoto Station, and while the investigator waited on a bench, the fox-eyed man continued to observe him. The investigator later headed back to Osaka, and the fox-eyed man boarded another car in the same train. When the investigator then disembarked to Takatsuki Station, the fox-eyed man boarded a Kyoto-bound train, and another undercover investigator tailed him from Kyoto. But the fox-eyed man lost him. The Shiga Prefecture Incident. Police got a second chance at capturing the fox-eyed man on November 14th when the monster group attempted to rob the House Food Corporation of 100 million yen. In another secret deal, at a rest stop on the Meishin Expressway near Otsu, investigators saw the fox-eyed man wearing a golf cap and dark glasses, but again, he evaded capture. The cash delivery van they were tailing continued to head toward the drop point, where they were to drop the money in a can under a white piece of cloth. When the delivery van reached the drop point, the white cloth was there, but the can was missing. As a result, the investigative team was ordered to withdraw, believing that the drop was an evaluation by the monster of police response. However, an hour earlier, a patrol car from the local Shiga Prefecture police had spotted a station wagon with its engine running and its headlights off. The station wagon was also sitting less than 50 meters from a white cloth suspended from a fence. Unaware of the secret ransom drop, the police officer drove up to the station wagon and shone his flashlight on the driver, revealing a thin-cheeked man in his 40s, wearing a golf cap over his eyes, and more telling, a wireless receiver with headphones. Surprised by the policeman, the driver sped off with the police car following in pursuit until the station wagon lost him. The station wagon was later found abandoned near Kusatsu Station and had been discovered to have been stolen earlier in Nagaokakyo in Kyoto Prefecture. Inside the abandoned car was a radio transceiver that had been eavesdropped in on radio communication between the police officers of 6 prefectures, including Osaka, Kyoto, Kobe, the prefectures of the drop point as well. Also recovered was a vacuum cleaner, although no evidence could be traced back to the monster group. Following the blackmail campaign on House Foods, the monster then turned its sights on Fujiya in December 1984. In January 1985, police released the facial composite of the fox-eyed man to the public. In August 1985, after continuing harassment of the monster with 21 faces and the failure to capture the fox-eyed man, Shiga Prefecture Police Superintendent Yamamoto killed himself by self-immolation. If you don't know what self-immolation is, it means he set himself on fire. He left a message to his friends, family, and peers that he had failed everyone. Final days of the message and aftermath. 5 days after the death of Yamamoto on August 12th, the monster with 21 faces sent its last message to the media. Yamamoto of Shiga Prefecture Police died. How stupid of him. We've got no friends or secret hiding place in Shiga. It's Yoshina or Shikata who should have died. What have they been doing for as long as 1 year and 5 months? Don't let bad guys like us get away with it. There are many more fools who want to copy us. No career Yamamoto died like a man. So we decided to give our condolence. We decided to forget about torturing food-making companies. If anyone blackmails any of the food-making companies, it's not us, but someone copying us. We are bad guys. That means we've got more to do, other bullying, and other companies to bully. It's fun to lead a bad man's life. Signed, the monster with 21 faces. Following this message, the monster with 21 faces was not heard of again. In June 1995, the statute of limitations ran out on the assaults and kidnapping of Izaki, followed by the elapse of the statute of limitations in February 2000 on the charge of attempted murder for the poisoned food products. And 2002, the character of the Laughing Man in Ghost in the Shell standalone complex was inspired by the Glico Morinaga case. Well guys, thank you so much for joining me for another Osoroshii Saturday. I hope you enjoyed everything you saw and heard here today. We are reaching the end of our month of Osoroshii Saturdays. If you do enjoy these and you do wish to see them continue beyond the month of October, please like, comment, and subscribe. Share wherever you can. If eventually these reach views that go over 2,000 per video, I will definitely continue this series. If not, sorry, but there's more popular things out there on my channel. Until next time, I am Unrested with the scary stories you requested. This is Osoroshii Saturday.
水に映ったから